Hello, Potato. Get your brick separator of +2 agility ready, because today we are looking at the newest LEGO collectible minifigures, the Dungeons and Dragons series. I've been looking for these, honestly, for over a month. I've been looking, because last time when the space ones came out, they came out early. I was able to find them like a week ahead of time at local Target. So I've been looking for almost a month, well, more than a month now actually, as of recording this near the end of September. And didn't have any luck. I did finally pop into my local LEGO store, and they had a couple cases behind the counter. They let me look through them, and I was able to find everything I wanted, plus 3 duplicates, at least 2 of which are destined for the Halloween display. Although really, honestly, a lot of the stuff in this collection could also work for Halloween. We have like vampires and mind flayers and who look kind of like Ood, and the Lady of Pain. I probably should have gotten a second one of her. But the duplicates I picked up are based on what you may have been seeing online. People have been like going for one particular figure. That is not the one I went and did duplicates of. So you may be a little surprised exactly which ones I wanted to get dupes of. Now, as much as I complained about in the come up to them switching over to boxes, I have to say, I've gone a full 180 on it. I do like the boxes now, because with the QR code thing, at least until LEGO decides to disable it, I was able to find everything I wanted in maybe 5 minutes. Because they handed me the box, they had me go to the back side of the counter, not in the employee area, just like on the pick a brick wall area. Our local LEGO store is a little petite, a little cozy inside. But they had me go to the back counter, so I wasn't in the way if anybody else wanted to buy anything, and they let me have at it. And I found one of each, plus some dupes, and all thanks to these lovely little QR codes. There's a couple different apps out there that do that. I use the OMG Bricks app just because it's the one that I saw first. There may be better ones, but I mean, all you need to do is be able to tell what's in the package, and there's nothing else I'm really too terribly concerned about. So yeah, today, let's put together the Dungeons and Dragons LEGO collectible minifigures. Might be a little bit of a longer one, so pour yourself a glass of Mountain Dew, get your D20s ready, and let's start opening up minifigures. Hopefully, we'll make all of our saving throws and not get any duplicates that I didn't want. I mean, that's the thing, is at least for the 2 series they've done so far with these QR codes, I haven't had anything come up wrong yet. That doesn't mean, we won't eventually. There could be, an error in the app. It could just be that LEGO decides to start tricking us. But I feel like if that were a situation, I'd have heard about it already from people complaining online. So we're starting off here, I believe, the Lady of Pain? Get our little checklist out first. I feel like there's gonna be a little more building in this one than there are in a lot of these minifigure sets. Maybe not those. Only shows like 4 guys on here. 5 if you count the don't shoot people in the eyes one. There are some interesting builds here. Yeah, definitely some good Halloween stuff in this. We should probably get another one of him. He'd be another good Halloween guy. I don't know, but I mean, these all look very interesting. I don't have the D&D set, unfortunately. The big castle with the inn and the dragon, and that really awesome looking dragon, frankly. But I also have nowhere to put it. I really want it. I don't really feel it's worth $300. It's not that big of a set ultimately, but that dragon is really tempting. Plus, some of the other builds in it are pretty cool. So let's get her built. Oh no, we just get 2 of these. She only shows her with 1 in the picture, but I guess in case you lose one or if you want her to dual wield, I don't actually know what these are. So, trivia fact, I have never played a game of D&D, like pen and paper D&D. I've only ever played video games. Now, I've been playing video games since like the old SSR gold box games, time. I had a bunch of those when I was younger, but I've never actually played a game at a table with like other live humans. But I do believe she was called the Lady of Pain. I was surprised that this is not a head. This is actually just a hat. And it's all very rubber. That I'm not surprised at. I figured this was not going to be like hard plastic. It's not. It's a very rubbery plastic there. She's got two of these little Hellraiser box looking things here. Nice printing. I do like the cape. I don't think I've ever had a character with a cape quite like that before. That looks nice. Sculpting's good. Paint job is good. Definitely another one that I might consider getting a duplicate of to add to Halloween. It feels like the you can actually kind of form the cape out a little bit. It's not super thick, not like some of the older Superman capes that were like really like thick and stiff, but it feels like it would actually hold shape a little bit. Probably with like a little bit of moisture or heat or something, you could probably tease it into really holding a shape. Yeah, it's a good looking figure, and she does appear to levitate. So that's nice. Yeah, she's another one that would be for Halloween. Frankly, all the monster characters in here would actually be like good Halloween display candidates. But also I reckon good if you wanted to do some miniature gaming that didn't cost. I mean, I think these do legitimately cost less than the miniatures. Plus, you don't have to paint them, so that's a plus. Next, we have the Witch. All right, there we have our Witch, another good Halloween candidate. One thing I don't like on her is the cauldron here just has the flames loose in it. I'm wondering if I grabbed the wrong stud, I'm wondering if I can put, at least to make the flame stand up a little better. Here we go. I've always got that little pile of loose leftovers at the side here. Put it like that. I don't know if that really helps, but it certainly doesn't make it any more stable, does it? Yeah, I don't like that. Well, part of that's just rock biter hands. I'm not a huge fan of things just kind of flapping around loosely, because those are absolutely going to fall out when I take this out of here. But there may be a way to fix that. I just need to be creative. But the Witch herself, she does have, not the Witcher, but the Witch her. See that they fell out already. All right, the Witch herself though, nicely printed, lots of belts and buckles on her, a very cool hairpiece. I'm sure we'll be seeing this like in the pick-a-brick bin next year, because that's actually a very nicely sculpted hairpiece. Of course, it doesn't let you move her head around at all because it is firmly shaped around the body. She comes with two faces, as opposed to Our Lady of Pain there. We have this big, happy, cackling face. Looks, I don't know, is that malevolent or is that happy? And then we have the not so cheery, happy face. Kind of smirky, like she knows something. She knows something that you don't. She probably is going to pass her intelligence checks. And then she has a little spell book with apparently a laughing spell. Maybe that's why she's laughing, and she has a spell that makes people happy. Because that's what witches do, right? Witches make people happy. I want to point out, also I didn't point out with the first figure, they do have unique base plates with like some little stonework on them. So you'll know which ones came out. They don't really do they do a lot of the black one? I'm trying to remember now. I think they don't do a lot of the non-themed plates in these anymore. The first like 10 series or so were all just plain black plates, and then we started to have things like Batman movie or Lego Batman movie that would have unique colored plates. Some of the Disney ones, Space had a unique one. I don't know, did the last one that was not a themed set have the basic black plates? I know we had white plates for one series. The Space ones were nice. These ones are nice too. Good for your, again, for your tabletop gaming if you want your minifigure to be your miniature. And of course you can always muck about with these a little bit to make them a little more unique. Looks like next up we have, I think that's the vampire? Let's put them together and find out. There is our little vampire lord. I remember the proper names and all these were. Comes with cool, I think a unique rat, because the rat has red eyes. I don't think I've seen a rat with red eyes before. Honestly, this would be a good start to make your What We Do in the Shadows minifigures. He's got that kind of vibe, or rather, in What We Do in the Shadows has this kind of vibe. He's got a sword, he's got a glass, but of course, don't forget, in general, vampires do not drink wine. He comes with two faces. We have big, evil, vampire rage face, and we have that same sort of I know something you don't know smirk that our witch had. Very nice, nicely printed, nice cape, nice rat. I like the rat. I would just buy more of those rats if I could. Those would look cool on their own in the Halloween. But maybe in the future, in like Pick-a-Brick online, obviously not Pick-a-Brick in store. They never have like anything minifigure Pick-a-Brick in store unless like they swept it up and dumped it in there by mistake. And I have gotten a couple pieces that way before. But yeah, I wish they sold the Pick-a-Brick or the Build-A-Figure stuff by the pound like they do the Pick-a-Brick stuff, instead of a tenner for 3 with only one accessory per character. Next up, we have some sort of a Jedi based on the lightsaber hilt there. All right, so this one is, I did look up the names. This one is the Gith Warlock. And this is, I think, one of the few times I've had a minifigure that had multiple heads that were actually meant for the figure. I think there was like a mime one a long time ago that had may have had multiple faces. It may not have been a mime. But actually, hold on. I happen to actually have him right at hand. He's on the shelf behind me. Yeah, this guy. This is the only I can think of before that came with like multiple heads. And he came with heads because this is, well, one, I think this may predate them. I don't remember what series it was. I think it's a fairly early series. But I think this may predate them doing the multiple faces on the heads. But also his hat doesn't cover the back of his head anyways. So it still would have exposed the faces. But yeah, he's the only one I think of that I have that has multiple heads. They've come a ways in minifigures since they made him. But yeah, he's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that has multiple heads that came with him. Or at least ones that weren't intended to be something else. Like I think, didn't Rolf have like a bust of Mozart or Beethoven in the Muppets one, and Swedish Chef had a head, but it was actually meant to be like a talking tomato. But those weren't meant to go on the figure. So we have some extra bits here. We have an extra dagger and an extra lightsaber hilt. Put those off to the side. And look at our Gith Warlock. So yeah, we have a total of 4 faces to use with them. We have that I know something you don't know look. We have an angry face look. We have a really angry face look. And then we have the first one in this collection, one that I legitimately would call happy. It's no debate. I'm not sure what the witch there. I just saw her name too. Was it Tasha the Witch King? Yeah, Tasha the Witch Queen. I don't know why I called her a king. I mean, if she wants to call herself king, I don't mind. Yeah, we'll go with the really angry face. And yeah, I love the staff. I love the little eyeball on the staff. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that from Lego before. No cape, but we do have like shoulder armor. Got a couple of vials tucked in the back pocket and a key. And yeah, it's a pretty... Oh, you know what this is? I just now realized it. I think based on the mouths, these are so you can change the gender of your warlock. Because if you look, the one I put on there doesn't have like a pink outline on it. And the other one has like almost lipstick. So your female Gith Warlock can either be happy or perturbed, and your male Gith Warlock can be knowingly smug or in like a battle rage. That's interesting choice. Also, this one has a goatee, as where the one with the pink lips doesn't. So yeah, that's why they have multiple heads, because it changes the gender of the figure. So I mean, I guess the vampire is inherently male, the witch is inherently female, or, you know, called such at birth. And the Lady of Pain, well, they're called Lady of Pain. I suppose that's... I mean, again, if you're the Lady of Pain and you happen to be male at birth, I'm not going to be the one that tells you you can't be the Lady of Pain, because you are the Lady of Pain. Alright. What do we have next? We have, oh, looks like we have our first duplicate. Let's put them together. Alright, there's our first duplicate, the vampire. Strad von Zarovich, I believe, is the actual name of him. Which I feel like I had... Because yeah, it's part of Ravenloft. I played Ravenloft stuff back in the old computer games in the 90s, so the name does actually sound kind of familiar to me. But he's definitely going in the Halloween Village, probably the Rage Face version of him. Because I have like that Monster Fighters haunted house in there and other vampires, and so he will go in there as part of Halloween. And the other one will just, I don't know, stay wherever I put the rest of them, but he will go in Halloween. Again, I think I might go back and try to get some more duplicates to add to the Halloween. I still set the Halloween up. I'm probably gonna actually do that. Might do that the day this comes out. Next up, looks like we have the Elf Bard. Let's put them together. All right, then we have a duplicate sword, but that's actually kind of a cool, like, little cutlassy looking sword, so we can probably find some use for that. And again, we have multiple heads, and again, they do appear to be gearing them towards different genders. The one I put on there appears to be the female face because it has like pink, silvery, or not pink, has silver lipstick. The other one had pink, this one has silver. And the male face does not, pale face has like a black outline for the lips. And they both have singing faces. And they both have happy faces, although I'm gonna say his is a little bit more smirky than hers. So I'm guessing that the idea with these ones that actually don't have names, because we had Strad, Tasha, and the Lady of Pain, is these are actually really intended to be your player characters. So you can customize them. Very Lord of the Rings looking elf here. This is the Elf Bard. Comes with a lute with some nice kind of elven reminiscent work on it there. But also just like the vest and stuff makes me very much think Lord of the Rings, which, you know, that stands to reason. But, oops. Nicely printed, fairly straightforward. If you want to play as an elven bard, you could certainly do worse for a miniature. I do like the little hairpiece with the built-in ears. Yeah, quite nice. I mean, I think my favorites are going to, of course, end up being like the villain characters, or the monsters, the named enemies. But that's pretty nice. I think of the player characters so far, I do like the Gith Warlock better, just because that's, I don't know, it's, I mean, I like our Elf Bard there, but the Gith Warlock just looks kind of cool because of that cool staff. And honestly, a pretty cool looking dagger. I think that dagger is unique. I don't think we've seen that dagger before. All right, next up, I think this is the Halfling Druid. No, this is the Tiefling Sorcerer. Halflings wouldn't have tails, would they? This is our Tiefling Sorcerer. Let's get them built. All right, there is our Tiefling Sorcerer. And again, we have male and female heads. You can tell from the lipstick, and also, it's like the male's got like a cleft chin, and the woman doesn't. I do actually, you know, I may switch that. I kind of like the angry face on the female head better than the perturbed face on the male head. You know, we have that smug, maybe not quite so smug, I know what you know look. And she just looks kind of, like she's trying to do that, but not quite pulling it off. I mean, the lip is pulled up a little bit on one side, but because my first thought was like, oh, that's just kind of a plain face. But no, she is doing the smirk. It's just not, I don't know, it's not as evident on her as it is on his face. Love the little dragon. I can see people wanting after this one just for that little dragon piece. That's really cool. So it would look right at home on a Welsh flag. Yes, I remember that now. And then we have this kind of weird plasma bolt thing, which that's, I don't know, that's not really working for me. It looks, I don't know, just looks a little wrong somehow. Also, which way is it supposed to go? What does it show on the package here? How are they meant to hold that? So with the long one facing up, okay. Oops, I just knocked my dragon off. It's how to kill your dragon. All right, there we go. And then kind of just at an angle. Yeah, I'm not in love with the magic effect. It is kind of that softer, springier plastic. I mean, I like that not only because, you know, it keeps kids from poking their eyes out, but because some of those thinner, soft, or the thinner, like firm pieces break over time. The plants in my greenhouse, I think it was in the Scooby-Doo Haunted House set, like have lost a lot of their leaves because if you just like look at them too hard, the leaves snap off because they weren't rubbery. They had no give to them. This, I feel, is not going to suffer that same fate. But I love the best part of this is definitely the dragon. Printing on the sorcerer's nice. That tail looks like it would be like right at home if they did like a Nightcrawler figure. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do like another Marvel box or set and see a Nightcrawler get that as a tail. Like the hairpiece, could be used for either gender. It's got like a bun at the back. And if you're going to make fun of a guy with a bun, well, you can just do that to you. Also, he's got a frickin' dragon. Still like the Gith Warlock best though. So far we've got 3 player characters and 3 named enemies. How did they split this up? Did they do it evenly? Maybe. No. Yeah, I think they are probably about evenly split. Who do we have next? Oh, this guy this is Saz Tom, right? So then I don't know if I recognize him from a game or was he in like the old D&D movie, like the really bad one with like Jeremy Irons and Waylon Waynes, I think it was. All right, let's put him. Oh, he's actually almost already together. Let's put him together. That's the best I'm able to do on him for now, I think. I'm never good at these collars. They're always a pain. But another one that would be really good in Halloween, maybe over like in kind of in the Harry Potter section. I'm sure that is offensive to some people that I would lump this guy in with Harry Potter, but I mean, thematically sort of fits in there as a magic user. I'm thinking Tasha the Witch in with the Sanderson sisters, so I guess, be offended at that too. So this is the one that did say in the instructions not to shoot people in the eye because it does have the launching fireball effect. I would love this little glowy red skull here. I would love a skeleton made entirely of that. That's pretty cool. Nice sculpting on, or not sculpting, nice painting or printing on the face. Nice rib cage on the chest piece there. Robe's a little plain, but that's fine. I don't think there's anything much to complain about there. Got the cape and the collar. And yeah, I am no good. I am no good at making these collars look the way they do in the picture. Mine always look like peaked like that. I can never get this kind of a smooth, rounded look they always do in the instructions. But a nice one, definitely. I mean, individually, like objectively, I don't know. Even though this is not one of the ones I bought duplicates of, it's another one I may go back and buy a duplicate of. But I don't know. I mean, between Saz and Lady of Pain, those are both like really cool looking figures. And I don't know which one I would say is my favorite at this point, because it's definitely close. I mean, Lady of Pain is very unique, but Saz just has style. Next up, We have the Mind Flayer. This is should be a quick one. Let's put it together. Well, this is the simplest build we've done so far, but I think this might be my favorite. I love this unique head. I love it. Looks like an Ood. It looks like an Ood from Doctor Who. I feel like if we ever get a Doctor Who collectible minifigure series, which I don't know why we never did, or even just maybe some more Doctor Who Lego, I feel like they would reuse at least something similar to that head for the Ood. Also, I love the little brain here. I don't know what it's called, but I love the little brain dog. Yeah, this is definitely a cool one. The robes give it kind of a Cenobite feel, though. I feel like I could put the Lady of Pain's head on here and definitely kind of pull off a Hellraiser sort of a thing. But I mean, even though it's the simplest of them yet, I think the Mind Flayer is my favorite. This is the one that really impressed me, probably the figure that impressed me the most out of the series. And that wasn't even really with the dog, really was just the fact it looks like an Ood. And yeah, I love that. That is, I don't know if it'd be good for Halloween. I mean, I might just put it in the normal village with the Doctor. The Doctor does appear in every Lego display. Capaldi, because they only made minifigures of Capaldi and Smith. And I like Capaldi more than Smith. They did Tennant. I would definitely switch to Tennant or Baker. Baker would be nice. That's why they need to do a collectible mini. Well, first of all, they need to do a new TARDIS. We've gotten like new Ecto ones, and we've gotten new DeLoreans from Back to the Future. We need to do it's time for a new Doctor Who set. It's been like literally 10 years. We're like the 60th anniversary now, or last year was 60th anniversary. Well, there is our second duplicate. And we didn't get any more Doctor Who. I feel like we need... I'm kind of surprised they haven't done like a larger scale TARDIS like they did with the DeLorean and the Ecto one. But two, I want a collectible minifigure series. So we're doing licensed collectible minifigures. We've got multiple Disney series. We've got Batman. We've had multiple Marvels. I want a Doctor Who collectible minifigure series. If nothing else, the rest of the Doctors. I mean, that would be fine, but I would like some like companions and enemies and stuff as well. But I mean, at least give us more Doctors. There are like, what, 13 of them now? More if you count things like the War Doctor and that other female Doctor, who I don't really believe is a Doctor because I don't think she actually fits in the timeline. But who knows, they could either do something with her in the future or just totally forget that she ever existed. All right, next we have the Aarakocra Ranger, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. Please correct me in the comments. Let's put them together. Which actually I'm almost done with. Yeah, I want a Doctor Who. I want more Doctor Who minifigures. I have an action figure set of like the first, I think 12 Doctors. I think it ends with Tennant. Which would be 11 Doctors. It's the 11 Doctors. I just looked at it. It says all 11 Doctors. So yeah, it predates Smith. It ends with Tennant. And I just cannot get this in his hand today. Maybe let's try the other hand. Maybe that's my problem. Even though the hands are exactly the same. But look, it made all the difference in the world. Let's put you on there. And you come with a little doggy. Just a perfectly average little doggy that needs two pegs to stand on. There we go. Two studs to stand on, not pegs. These are Lego. So there's our Aarakocra Ranger. No need to have multiple heads here because it's a bird. It's whatever gender you want it to be, or indeed no gender at all. We do have like the legs we've seen before, like on the harpy and stuff, to give it. Which I don't know, is that appropriate? I mean, it is more bird-like because like we've seen them on harpies and things, but do these characters have those kind of legs? Do they have like normal humanoid legs? Because usually, like bird people are just birds with, when it comes to the heads maybe and the wings, and they're just humanoid the rest of the way. But we've gone with harpy legs here. But I don't know what's accurate. I don't know the way they are depicted in the D&D manuals. Nice printing. Definitely have like a ranger feel to the chest there. You could swap that on with other pieces to make a human ranger if you wanted to, or an elven ranger, or an Air Force Ranger. The head, is this... Have they reused a sculpt from Chima? Only Chima figures I ever had were the ones for Lego Dimensions. But that just looks like a Chima head to me. Wings are nice. Also be good for, like, you can do an X-Men set. That'd be good for Angel or Archangel. And the dog is cute. Dog, I don't get the dog. I'm sure if I knew more about the Aarakocra Rangers, the dog would make sense. Or it could just be that they wanted to have another accessory because they don't have multiple heads and everybody else has like 2 heads and accessories, and all this one had was the bow and arrow. Although it has wings. I mean, I think wings count for a lot. Still, Gith Warlock is still my favorite for these, though. And next up... Alright, this is the one that everybody like really seems to want online. This is the Dragonborn Paladin, not in the Fusro Da way, but in being like literal part dragon. Alright, there we have the Dragonborn Paladin. Definitely not a character built for agility, because that's as high as his arm goes up. That armor fully blocks motion on this little fella here. So, again, I mean, I'm referring to it as a he, but it's a dragon. It doesn't need to have a gender, much like the ranger there. So it only comes with the one head. It's a very unique head. And I don't know what it is that's attracting people to this, if it's the head, because it's very unique. I do like the fact that the horns are separate pieces, so they won't break off, they can just pop out. To me, honestly, I really like the pearlescent mace here. That makes for a very interesting look. And the shield is nice. I do like the armor. I guess maybe people are buying this one for the armor, because if you're trying to army build and you want to have an army of knights, that is actually a really good chest piece for that, or armor piece for that. Now the printing on it, under it, I think is pretty... Was there anything like printed under there? Oh, there was actually. Okay. You'd think I'd remember in 30 seconds. Yeah, it's got like a whole little tunic thing going on there. So again, if you want to do other stuff with the character, we have that little flask stuck in the back there. Yeah, the armor is very cool. I mean, I see the attraction if I don't understand quite the exact attraction. If it's just like, if you want to take this body and put different heads on it and make yourselves your own little knight army, because that would actually be, a good thing to use that for. Or if it's just like the head. I could see maybe getting another one of him. I was tempted at the time, mostly because I've been online, like, trying to buy every one of them a store has. And like, I don't want to do that. I'm not reselling them. I want what I want. I don't want to deprive other people just so I can go, ooh, look what I have, and you don't. Which I feel like is what a lot of people do, or people just resell them. I would not be at all surprised to see some of these being sold open at like the anime convention in the future, or seeing fake ones being sold. I'm definitely going to see fake ones, I'm sure of that. I mean, and I've bought my fair share of fake ones, but mostly because of the license that Lego doesn't do. All right, looks at this. This has to be the Halfling Druid, and this looks like it'll probably be the most complex build of this set. So let's get it built. All right, here's our Halfling Druid again with the two faces, the male face and the female face. I went with the male head just because it's got like real jet black from Cowboy Bebop vibes there. With more on the side. With those sideburns, definitely getting some jet black kind of vibes off of this one. Woman, she's got the angry face and a winky smile face. He's got kind of the smug grin and a did I just do that kind of a look on his face. Comes with a cool little bird. This cape is, there we go. This cape is really, thick is not quite the word, because it is definitely thicker than the one on the Lady of Pain or Saz Tom, but it's very stiff, and I guess it's because it's multicolored. You don't see a lot of multicolor capes on Lego figures, because we have a green side and a brown side. It shows the brown side down on the instructions, but I suppose you could do whatever you'd like in your own game. But it does match the hood better if you do the green side out. Nice printing body. If I do have a complaint, it would be that it does come with the no good, very bad, should not be used children's legs. I'm not a fan of those. But I suppose, if you're just using this as your tabletop character, probably not that big of a deal. I like the staff. I kind of thought that was extremely harder to put together than it was, but it wasn't. And it comes with a little birdie. Also, love the sculpt on the helmet. Nice. Still going with the Gith Warlock, though. What are we at here? That's 6 and 5. So we should have 2 boxes left, 1 duplicate, and our last figure. Who are we missing here before we open them? We've got the Elven Bard. We've got... Oh, we're missing the Dwarf Barbarian. So one of these is the Dwarf Barbarian, and the other one should be the other duplicate. And it would be the other duplicate. So there we go. It's just our duplicate Tasha the Witch Queen. She is going to go in the Halloween Village by the Sanderson house with all the other witches. They're going to all hang out. Agatha Harkness will be there. That was in last year's collection. The Sandersons will actually be flying above, but they'll be there in spirits. And so our last one should be then the Dwarf Barbarian. And it is. Let's put them together. And there's our last one, the Dwarf Barbarian. Again, multiple heads. I went with the female head, because I don't know, the male head looks kind of goofy. He's got like a missing tooth there on the smiley face, and it's kind of an angry, scowly face. I like her like little battle roar face better than any of his faces. And then she's got like the smug face. Everybody's got the smug face of some form or another. Also comes with a torch for seeing your way through the mines. And what I think might be a new axe. I don't think I've seen... I mean, it definitely looks like a dwarven axe, like something out of Lord of the Rings or old Dungeons and Dragons. But I don't think I've seen one like this before. Usually the axes that are, double-headed are 2, like, single blades put opposite each other on the central post there. I think this is the first time I've seen a double-headed axe. It's actually just been a single piece of a double-headed axe. Even the last series that had that cool, like, vampire warrior, which I think had like the blood axe, had 2 red blades that went on either side, and that was just like earlier this year. Was that? 'Cause I think it was before the space one. I wanted to get another one of those little vampire guys to put in the Halloween Village too, but I may just have to put the plain one in there. Vernon's got the kind of craven looking fur collar here. We've seen that on a number of sets. Nice printing, a little axe pendant on their necklace. A horn on their back. Very nice. So that is the whole series there. We have all 12 of our minifigures. We have 7 player characters and 5 named, well, I guess the Mind Flayer isn't named, but 5 villains. My favorites remain the Gith Warlock and the Mind Flayer. And for the Mind Flayer is solely based on the fact that I think it looks like an Ood. That's probably not the best reason to name it. Now, technically, as far as like technical, not just personal preferences, I mean, it's harder to pick on the player character side, because I kind of want to lean towards the Dragonborn Paladin, but I think that's just because I've seen a lot of people online like really wowing about the Dragonborn Paladin. I mean, as far as the builds go, I think our Druid here was the most involved build with that staff, although that's not too far behind. It's got an overall great look to it. It doesn't look like a Chima character, but I really like the axe. It's not, I mean, it's not a technical achievement. The axe is actually simpler than any other axes I've had before. But I'll say, I think technique-wise, my favorite player character is the Druid. And, I mean, none of these are particularly technically, I mean, this is the most technically impressive. It's certainly the most involved build. You had the book and you had the cauldron, but you lose points in the cauldron for it not being, there not being a way to fasten these down into it. They need to put like a stud receptacle, or not a stud receptacle, a peg hole, like not that, like this, in the bottom of the cauldron so you can stick stuff into it and have it stay put. But honestly, I think just overall appearance, Saz Tom. I think a lot of people are going to go with the Lady of Pain because of that cool mask, and it is a cool mask. Got a kind of nice kind of copper patina effect going on it. But I think just overall, like kind of just scary, I think Saz Tom has to win it. It's fairly simple, but it's effective. And I think I probably will. If I see these again, I probably will pick up another Saz Tom, maybe another Lady of Pain. I don't know if I'll pick up any more of the heroes. I mean, I do like the armor on the Dragonborn, but I mean, they're not going to go in any of my displays, so I don't, other than potentially for parts, I don't really have any use for these guys again. As were our monster characters, definitely can go in Halloween. But yeah, these two are my favorites. Just overall, these two I think are the best looking aside, you know, that aren't just my favorites. But I don't think there's any real disappointments here. There's nothing here that's like, oh, yeah, that's a thing you did. And you know, I know it seems weird that I haven't picked, I picked 3 dupes, and only one of them is my favorite. The other 2 don't even rate as the, like, coolest looking. But those 2 I had specific ideas for in the Halloween Village. These 2, I don't know, I do feel like I do need to get one of him at least. Because he's very creepy looking. But those are my favorites. I don't really have a least favorite. It's not, none of them are bad. I mean, they all have redeeming factors. I suppose if I had to pick one that is overall the least favorite, it'd probably be the Ranger there. Just, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. There's nothing particularly interesting about the build. Like, you know, at least with the Dragonborn here, we have the nice build of the mace. It doesn't have like a built weapon, but a Ranger would have bow and arrow. That makes perfect sense. But if I had to pick one to be the least, I suppose it would be him, just because it's, otherwise, it's nice sculpt, but it's the least impressive build, if that makes sense. But that's what I think. That's the whole set. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. I am interested to know what you think of these. Also, feel free again to correct me on the pronunciation of Ericocris. I do not know. Feel free to correct me on that, though. I would like to know. Doesn't mean I'll remember, but I would like to know. But with that, we will wrap this video up. It's been a long one. But the minifigure videos always are. Nobody watches them anyway, so you aren't even hearing me say this. But it's fun. Glad to get the new series completed, out of the way. I don't have to keep looking for it anymore. They're all very nice, impressive, very nice additions to any minifigure collection. It does now make me really want to get that Dungeons & Dragons set to put them into. Although I think it'd be very crowded at that point. But yeah, I don't see that in the cards. Plus, I don't know where I'd put it if I got it. But again, what do you think of the figures? Do you have the D&D set? Let me know what you think of that too. And with that, we will, for sure this time, wrap this up. I hope you found it all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.